Everyone's worst guest. A Quietude story about meeting anxiety at breakfast. I didn't have anxiety literally move in with me. It just showed up at breakfast one morning like an unwelcome guest. Like the sort of person who claims they left their phone in the Uber and needs to borrow yours. You're eating your cereal, let's be honest, slightly stale because you bought the family size on accident and now feel morally obligated to finish it. And anxiety pops up unannounced, eyes fixed on your bowl like it's checking for gluten or judgment. Anxiety doesn't say, "Good morning." No, it goes straight to business. Did you lock the front door last night? You pause, you're pretty sure you did, but anxiety smells weakness like a bloodhound. Check again. You get up, you check. Door locked. Anxiety nods, as if it expected anything less than a hotel caliber level of fortress security. Also, it says, chewing thoughtfully on a metaphorical finger, what if someone judged how you licked your spoon back in 2019? Someone still remembers. You stare at your cereal. It is cereal. It does not care. But here we are. That's how it works. Anxiety doesn't need a reason. It just needs a thing, anything, to pitch a full disaster documentary in your skull. Like these forums people talk about online. Threads and threads of folks saying things like, "I'm fine, and yet my brain just screamed, 'Everybody hates you' at me this morning." Or, when I'm happy, my mind reminds me of something shitty that happened in 2012. Relatable. This isn't panic exactly. It's anticipatory overthinking. A what-if factory stuck in your head, spinning out catastrophes like it's paid by the absurdity. You decide to be pragmatic. Google anxiety symptoms. You learn things like rapid heartbeat, trouble concentrating, irrational worry about the toaster exploding and starting World War III. Useful stuff, like knowing if this keeps up, you'll eventually worry about the tide turning at the beach even in winter. You scroll a forum where someone says, "I felt pins and needles all over my left side and panicked, only to realize I'd slept on my arm wrong." Then they read their own name, age and date of birth out loud 3 times to convince themselves it wasn't a brain aneurysm. You laugh, partly because it's ridiculous, partly because anxiety is exactly that ridiculous. Your phone buzzes. A notification. Anxiety immediately assumes it's a punitive text from someone you offended in 2017. It's not. It's just a coupon for socks. Still, you check 4 times. Then there's social anxiety, the flavour that loves other people's intentions more than your morning coffee loves milk. Like when someone invites you out and your brain immediately constructs 5 possible ways you'll embarrass yourself. You think about explaining you actually have plans to watch the exact same TV show you watched 3 nights ago. Anxiety cheers. Because that's a social situation too. A couch, a snack, slightly judgy silence. Forums are interesting. One person says Reddit makes their anxiety worse, like accidentally stepping into a wolf pit of opinions. Another says they're just scared to comment because people might reply. That's the plot twist. Anxiety isn't afraid of interactions. It's afraid the world will read your tone wrong and hold it against you forever. Meanwhile, your breakfast cereal has gone soggy, and you genuinely feel like the world's least impressive Broadway show. You laugh, not mockingly. Laugh because this whole saga, racing thoughts, did I lock the door reruns, checking your phone for validation, is so human it should be illegal. Anxiety doesn't make sense. It doesn't want logic. It wants company. It wants your brain on stage shouting, "Look everyone, look at this possible failure." When in reality, your life is just you, existing in socks and a slightly stained breakfast shirt. That's it. That's the punchline and the wicked joke. You realize in a quiet moment, even if anxiety never leaves, you can still sit with it. Like a bizarre travel companion who tells bad jokes and drinks all the milk. You don't need to beat it, you just need to outlive it. Outlive the worst case scenarios, outlast the what ifs, and still be here, laughing at yourself, because that's the real survival skill. You've lived through mornings that should have been terrifying, afternoons where the phone buzz made your brain think it was a drill alarm, meetings that turned into internal monologues sponsored by panic, and yet, you're here, smiling, breathing, listening to this. So if anxiety wants a seat at the table, let it sit, let it rant, let it overthink the milk temperature. You're still you, stubbornly alive, still able to laugh at the absurdity of worrying about whether anyone will ever read a sentence like this and think, that's exactly me. If you want more stories that make you reflect and even laugh at the peculiar ways the mind can turn a toaster into a threat, stay with Quietude.